Hey everybody, John King. Welcome to my backyard. This is my fire pit, and I thought it'd be a great environment to kind of share with you a real down-to-earth conversation that we need to have about what's going on in the market. So let's get started. The mortgage market currently, it's broken. I don't know how else to say it. It's broken. If you played pinball as a kid, or if you're a pinball fan and you shake the machine too much and the machine tilts. And right now, we've hit the tilt on the mortgage market. I'll explain in a couple minutes why, but I'm going to give you kind of a high-level overview of what's going on, and I will tell you the turmoil right now in the mortgage world is real, and it's about to get worse. Here's what's happening. First of all, inflation obviously is a major problem, and the Fed has been trying to combat that and slowing down the economy. Personally, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm going to make a pretty bold statement here. I am beginning to suspect the Fed is, instead of using a sledgehammer to harm the economy, because they got to bring down the economy and slow down this inferno that we have of inflation. And what we thought they were doing was taking a big sledgehammer and just slamming into the economy and trying to slow everything down. And I actually am starting to think that the Fed is using a scalpel. And they're using a scalpel to specifically attack the housing industry and hopefully lower inflation through inflicting what is a pretty great amount of harm in the housing industry. Why do I think that? First of all, the Fed has done everything they can to raise mortgage rates, and they don't control mortgage rates, but the Fed is a big buyer in mortgages, and they went cold turkey and stopped buying. And that had a huge impact to mortgage rates. And the Fed is making statements that are making it very, very clear they want interest rates to keep going up. And they're kind of inciting fear in the buyers of mortgages that is creating the market becoming really paralyzed. We are right now in an environment where a 0-point loan basically doesn't exist. If you talk to any lender right now and they tell you the truth, most loans are going to be 1, maybe 2 points to get almost by requirements, and this week has gotten significantly worse. Why do I say the Fed's attacking the mortgage industry? I'll cover that first, not mortgage, housing industry, and then I'll talk about why this week has gotten a whole lot worse. I think the Fed's attacking the housing industry because the housing industry makes up what I heard recently was 20 to 25% of the economy. Not just houses, but all of the related industries, mortgage industry, real estate, title companies, home inspectors, appraisers, home remodeling. When you sell your house, you remodel right before you sell it, or you remodel once you buy a new house and move in. Blinds and carpet and all of the things, landscaping, all of that stuff is housing related. And the fewer people that buy and sell houses, those industries are going to suffer. There's going to be job losses. And we're seeing significant job losses right now in the mortgage industry, and it's going to get worse. And so what's happening with interest rates right now, the last 3 days, from Thursday of last week through yesterday, Monday, are really as bad over those 3 days or worse than what we saw in early June. We saw a significant uptick in interest rates in June, and everybody kind of calmed down and said, okay, everything's better. We can relax a little bit. And the truth is they started spending money again, and they started investing in the stock market again, and that's exactly what the Fed needs to stop. That's the only way we put out the fire of inflation, is if people stop spending all of this money. And so the Fed, I believe, is targeting housing because, let's be honest, 90% of the American population that owns a home right now has a rate below 3% or in the 3s or in the 2s. And unless you have to sell a home, who cares if rates go to 7, 8, 9%? It's not going to hurt you because you have a fixed interest rate and it's not going to harm you. So by attacking the housing industry and harming, in the short term, the housing industry, they're not harming that many people. Now, I don't think it's as simple as that, but I do think that's a big potential reason why we're seeing this is because I think that there's a really good chance the Fed is pulling out that scalpel and trying to just inflict pain in one area instead of using a sledgehammer and inflicting pain across everything. We're going to see more pain. We're going to see interest rates go up. We're already in the 7% range, and I think it's going to get worse. I think that in the short term, we're going to see slower home sales. We're going to see fewer home sales. we're not going to see a crash. Look, obviously I'm guessing where the future is going. I don't know for sure, like nobody knows for sure. But what I do see is a lot of people who have fixed rates at great interest rates. And so they don't have to worry about selling. They're not forced to sell like they were in 2008 when they had an adjustable rate and the payment was going up significantly and everybody was losing their job in 2008. Instead, what we're seeing is people who can afford their payment and they're just going to choose not to sell. They're going to decide, you know what, I wanted to upgrade to a bigger home, or I wanted to downsize to a smaller home, but it just doesn't make sense. And in today's market, for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. I think there's a huge opportunity for first-time homebuyers who are looking to get into the market. And one of the biggest opportunities I see right now is for people that meet the low-income requirements, which is per county, and it's 80% of the area median income. So for the Sacramento Valley, it's $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, depending upon that level. There's an amazing program to offer people 10% of the price of their home as down payment assistance, and it's forgiven after 5 years. So we're looking at some amazing opportunities for very few people, but we're going to see a huge shakeout. I expect we're going to see huge amounts of consolidation in the mortgage and real estate world, and specifically in the mortgage world. There are just way fewer transactions happening, and there's a whole bunch of loan officers, there's a whole bunch of mortgage companies, and I'm already hearing about the challenges. I heard about a local lender today who is being bought out by another lender. Now I'm talking a large lender, like a national lender bigger than the size of Summit Funding, and they're running into financial challenges because the struggle right now is they've got, every mortgage company has an operation that they had grown over the last 2 years to be able to do a $4 trillion mortgage market. And this year we're probably going to be at around $2 trillion. That's still a good sized market, but not for the amount of people that we've hired into this industry, not for the infrastructure that we've built. And so there have already been a lot of layoffs. There have been a lot more layoffs announced in the last week or two. And the big shift in interest rates in the last week, we've gone from 6.5 to over 7. You haven't heard about it yet. You'll be hearing about it soon when the media catches up. But that shift in interest rates is going to create another hurdle. It's going to put another kink in the market. And we're going to see more and more mortgage companies fold. We're going to see mortgage companies that can't pay payroll that are going to go out of business. And it is definitely a challenging time. I do not want you thinking that 2008 is happening again, because I firmly believe that we have a whole different set of circumstances right now than what we had in 2008. But the truth is, from a mortgage industry perspective, it's going to be 2008 all over again. There are going to be a lot of casualties coming forward. There's going to be a lot of companies going under, and I think my industry is going to look a whole lot different at the end of 2023. Gosh, maybe even at the end of 2022 compared to what it looks like right now. And I wish I could tell you that it wasn't that bad, but the truth is it is that bad. And there's a lot fewer transactions out there. There's a lot of people who have gotten into this industry that are going to be getting out. And luckily, the overall economy is still doing okay. We're going to hit a recession. I think we're going to be in it by the middle of next year. And historically, interest rates are lower at the end of a recession than the beginning. But lower, what if rates go to 10% between now and then? Lower would be back down to 8. Still worse than today. I don't see that happening, but that's the truth, that I can't predict how bad things are going to get. But hear me clearly when I say things are bad right now in the mortgage and real estate industry, and they're about to get worse. I wish you all the best of the evening. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family this evening. I'm recording this at night. I'm not sure it's going to get put out tonight. But either way, I just enjoyed welcoming you into my backyard, sharing my fire with you, and sharing some real sincere feelings about what's going on in the market, because whether you're looking to buy or sell, or you're a homeowner, or you're a realtor, or another mortgage professional, just recognize the economy is struggling, and it is going to get worse, and the housing market is struggling a lot. And so we're going to see a lot of turmoil, and it's just kind of the new thing we have to face. So let me know if you have questions. I'm looking forward to being an advisor for you forever. I'm never getting out of this industry, so you're stuck with me forever. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon.